Unsolicited advice. Unsolicited advice. You know it's good to share problems. I rip straight from the public forums. Unsolicited advice.
Hi there. I'm Ed.
I'm Dan.
Welcome to yet another episode of Unsolicited, the show where we take an advice column from the past. We rate the question, we rate the answer, and then
We pick nothing. We give the worst advice possible, the most despicable advice.
nice work, Dan. You really nailed that one. That went well. It was a good opener. So we're randomly choosing. Who are we doing today?
Well, we've kicked Miss Banners to the curb.
Yeah, she sucks.
We made her
Miss Manners
bite the
sucks.
curb and just.
No, we didn't. Ease up. We're not supposed to be violent. Let's talk about the rules
Oh, that's
of
right.
bad
we do have
advice
some
on
rules.
this show.
Yes.
Well, there's a couple things. Don't ask us advice. We don't give advice.
Right.
Two is we offer bad advice at the end of every episode, so you can skip to that if you don't want to hear the question. It would be weird, but you can skip to that. In the bad advice, we are not allowed to give any violently criminal advice because
Yes. No
it's
killing.
always bad advice. Yeah, you can't kill people. You can't hurt
Yeah.
people. You can't punch people in the throat. You can't do any of that stuff
Right.
because that's
Assassinations.
it's, it would just be every episode would be us ending it with like, yeah, kill, set the church on fire. Like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're giving what we call 90s sitcom bad advice, which is the bad advice that would be acceptable in a 90s sitcom. Now, it's not 2020 sitcom bad advice because it's a little bit too white bread, but 90s sitcoms were a little edgy. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not going into the 80s where, Revenge of the Nerds, where they like solve a problem by like
with assault.
yeah, with like sexual assault stuff. Like, yeah, it's not
Yeah,
that.
we're
Not
gonna
that.
stay away from
90s.
that.
And
Yes.
maybe we'll go into the aughts in 10 years from now.
Right.
Wow, that was a long, excellent man. We could really get it shortened. We started this whole season by talking about how we were going to tighten these shows up,
Yeah.
and they've just gotten looser as we go. Just floppy, loose.
We started off
nonsense.
pretty earlier today. All right, so we'll get into it. I got Dear Abby here, June 29th, 2006.
Ooh, going back.
Mom caught in the middle of daughter's growing feud.
Mom caught in the middle of daughter's growing feud.
Yes.
Who is it? Dear Abby?
Dear Abby.
Cool.
Let's see.
The
all right.
Abster.
A little bit of a lengthy question here. Hopefully I'll make it through it. My youngest daughter, Liza, is going through a divorce that has turned ugly with her soon-to-be ex, Dick, choking and threatening to kill her. Well, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, that
the
sucks.
problem is, wait. The problem is that the other part is the problem that you just mentioned is my oldest daughter, Mimi. What are these names? Has remained in contact with Dick. She claims she doesn't want her children to suffer the loss of an uncle they really love. Mimi has promised Liza she would no longer speak to Dick, but when Liza went to her former home to pick up some personal items, she saw on the caller ID that Mimi had been calling there several times a week. Liza is devastated and feels Mimi has betrayed her. When she called Mimi to discuss it, Mimi refused. Liza then announced that she would never speak to Mimi again. I feel that Mimi did betray Liza, but I had hoped there would be further communication. Mimi is now avoiding me. There has been other sticky situations in the past when Mimi has deprived family members, including me, from seeing her children as a means of punishment. Okay. I'm at a loss. I feel supportive to Liza because I know she really needs me and is being subjected to problems of all kinds from all sides. Heartbroken mother in Ohio.
You know what? It's a good question. I think she's sincere. I think that, I think that she's got a screwed up family, and I think that her daughters are screwed up, and I think she sincerely wants to know what to do. I'm going to give this one a 9. I think it's a good question.
Okay. Okay.
What do you think?
I'll give it a 7. I don't know. I'm not. It
No?
seems like there's too much to
Kind of convoluted.
not even convoluted, but there's some actual serious issues here that aren't going to be solved by writing into a columnist.
That's fair.
You know,
I guess it's a good question because
it
you
was
should
like
really
you
be
could even
going
go
to
into
the
your
whole
like
family thing.
you know next time you go get gas, ask the dude behind the counter. What do you think?
Hey, we've both worked behind the counters at gas stations, and we now give advice on the internet. I mean, bad advice, but it's still advice.
Yes. So you
All
said
right.
9, or you said
I like it.
yeah, no, yeah,
I
it's
think
not it's just it's
I
fair.
think it
It's
was
fair.
pretty
It's
well
fair.
written. I think that she gets a lot across.
Yeah,
There's a lot of information in there.
yeah, a lot to
Like,
unpack.
yeah, there's a ton in there. So like I'd expect a pretty thorough answer, of course,
Yes.
because in the question, I mean, you've got an abusive person and the daughter going in, and then the other side is that like looking through the caller ID, she's called several times. She's been calling several times a week. Implies that she looked first off.
Yeah.
Caller ID in 2006. Second off,
Yeah.
like how far is she going through the caller? Why is she going through her ex's caller
Right,
ID?
right.
There's like all sorts of stuff in this thing. And then
Yeah.
I don't even I even forgot the end of the question. It just that's just the first two, three
This
sentences.
is more of a Springer episode.
It really is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be. Was he around in 2006?
Oh sure.
No,
sure.
he was dead by then. Is he dead?
Jerry Springer.
No, he's alive.
I
He
think
must
he's
be.
alive. He's got to be alive. All
Is
right.
Jerry Springer dead? Please answer. Tell us in the comments, please, because I'm not gonna look it. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. You get. Let's read the answer, and I'll tell us at the
All
end.
right. Dear Heartbroken, what a mess. Perfect first sentence.
Yep.
You have my sympathy. However, Liza may have jumped to the wrong conclusion when she spotted Mimi's number on Dick's caller ID. Caller ID registers the number the call was made from and to whom the number is registered. It does not necessarily reveal the identity of the caller. Rather than Mimi calling, it might have been one or more of her children wanting to talk to an uncle they really love. All right. One thing is clear. There is trouble between your daughters. Whether it's recent or ill feelings go all the way back to their childhood, you'd be better served to let the girls work it out between themselves than to allow yourself to be put in the middle. You can't be their referee forever. You're all adults now, and it's time they resolve their own conflicts without dragging you into it. That's it. I kind of like that response.
Yeah. What are you giving it?
I'm going to give that response an 8. I think
I'm going with a 5.
Really. I like how we're both
I don't.
opposites on this one.
We're opposite. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a decent
yeah.
response. What do you like about it?
Well, I liked how the last part of it, where she's just like, there's a, it's a mess, which was she started off, but then the other part is like, you know what? I think you got to stay out of it. Let your daughters, fix this out amongst themselves, and yeah. So that's why I liked how she said, just let the daughters.
Yeah,
figure
the
it
end
out.
is okay, but I mean, like it's obviously upsetting this person. So, like, how do they deal with that?
Yeah. With all
Like,
the,
how do you- like,
they
you're just
don't
gonna-
touch
you're just
upon
gonna-
any of the craziness that's obviously going
Outside
on.
of like a weirdly long explanation of caller ID. Like,
Right.
caller ID works. It could be someone calling the uncle they love very much. Who loves their uncle that much? I don't know. Maybe
Right.
I'm a bad uncle. I got like a ton of. I don't think a niece or nephew of mine has ever called me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I send them a gift card. They like, I don't know, say thank you through my sister. That's not true. I think they call me or text me or something. Anyway, I
All right,
think
so you gave it a 5. And,
I hate it. I don't.
yeah,
Well, I don't
yeah.
hate it. I just don't like it. I just don't think it's very complete. Doesn't really address much of the craziness. Doesn't address the spousal abuse. Doesn't
Yeah.
address the sisters seem to be. There's like a lot going on.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
It doesn't really talk about it. It talks more about caller ID than spousal abuse.
Yeah. So
And
that's so we're,
doesn't talk about like, hey, like, and one of these, Mimi is obviously like crazy manipulative,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And Mimi needs to go. Like, Gigi or whatever the other one's name is, Liza. Liza seems okay to me,
Uh-huh.
but Mimi needs serious counseling.
Oh yeah.
I think Mimi's sleeping with Liza's abusive husband. Don't you? That's why she's calling.
That's something that Springer would be able to figure out.
Oh, Springer's alive, by the way. He's
Oh.
70. He's 77 years old.
All
And he was
right.
only the mayor of Cincinnati for 1 year. I thought he was the mayor for a while.
Well, no, because he got caught with coke and hookers.
Was it coke and hookers?
It's the 80s. It's got to be, right? All right, Ed. So what's your worst advice for this mom?
I'm going to go with surveillance.
Surveillance.
Surveillance. She needs to hire private investigators to follow all of them. The husband, the daughters, and then she's got to collect information on them and then bring it all together and present it in a slideshow at Thanksgiving.
My worst advice is I think you just gotta leave your daughters. Move across country.
Yeah.
Don't even start
call.
a new family. Just get a 1-bedroom apartment and you just gotta chill.
I think in this situation, Dan,
Yeah.
that's actually good advice. I think you
Damn it.
accidentally rounded around. I mean, Mimi and Liza are the worst people that have ever lived.
Yeah.
Abandon them and moving across the country to a 1-bedroom apartment
Yeah.
to work at a Shoney's.
Oh, okay. I'll change it then. She should
Okay.
She should leave, but she should leave with Dick.
Yeah, that's good.
There you
All
go.
right, all right.
There you go.
You
there
totally,
you go. All right, feeling
totally
better.
redeemed
feeling
yourself.
Better. Feeling better.
You've
Yeah.
totally redeemed yourself. That is the winner, my friend. The best, worst advice of the evening goes to Mr. Dan. Good work. Good work.
you,
That is
thank
is an A+. To abandon the daughters, leave the country, leave to the other side of the country with Dick.
With Dick.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesomely bad advice. All right. Thank you. Thank you yet again for joining us for Unsolicited.
Yes.
Unsolicited advice. Unsolicited